a blessing in disguise as evidence of things not seen, is a secret of success and a seed of self-esteem. Because I am that I am, there's no way I can let myself down. Hang-ups and setbacks are only stepping stones to higher ground. Because I am special. I am who I am. Danny Queen.
Oh, something though. When you think about that,
you're a bad man, man. You're a bad man,
no,
man.
you're the man. When you think of that seed of success, though.
Yes.
And that seed of self-esteem. That's the groundwork, if you will, for becoming successful, for your determination.
Yes.
You have to have that seed of success, and sometimes it's planted at an early age.
And you know what the seed is? The seed of success is a dream. I always go back to the power of the dream. You must have a dream. Michael Jordan was asked in an interview, what makes you such an outstanding basketball player? His answer was when he was in the 9th grade, he got cut from the basketball team for not being good enough. He went home that night, laid in his bed, started dreaming about doing impossible things with the basketball because he wanted to prove to the coach that the coach had made a mistake. Once he saw it in his mind, he tried it on the outside and he realized he could do it. Duke Ellington was asked in an interview, what makes you such an outstanding musician? His answer was, I dream a lot. Walt Disney was asked how he created Disneyland after having 2 nervous breakdowns, going bankrupt, having to lose his house, sell his car, live on the street for a while. His answer was because I kept on dreaming. Muhammad Ali was asked how he revolutionized the boxing industry so people would flock to see him fight. He said, I had imagination, I had a dream. I created a personality that people either loved or they hated.
He dreamed he'd be the greatest.
He said, I'm going to be the greatest. And he, out of that dream, he had this dream that said, I'll do whatever's necessary. And he became the mouth of the South, as they said, of Louisville Lip. But he created this personality some people loved and some hated.
Yeah, that's true.
People came in great numbers to see him. Some wanted to see him lose, some wanted to see him win. But they came, and he revolutionized the whole industry. Boxing was never the same after he came its way.
That's very true. His determination.
It was the dream he started. I'm going to be the greatest. I want to be the best. I'm from a little town, Louisville, Kentucky, but I want to be the best. So it shows you the power of a dream. I want to say to everybody in here that you must focus on your dreams, that you got to get back to your dreams. Many times people are told, stop dreaming. Stop dreaming.
Come down to earth.
Get to birth. Be realistic. I say, leave that mess alone. Start dreaming. Dream big dreams. Think
That's
big
important
thoughts.
That you said dream big dream, because a lot of us, everybody has a dream of some type, but sometimes we dream too small.
I say there are 2 types of dreams: the elephant dreams and mosquito dreams. Mosquito dream, little teeny weeny dream. And an elephant dream is a massive dream. Now, mosquito dream, you take a male mosquito, female mosquito, put them together. Tomorrow you got a baby mosquito. 24 hours. That's the gestation period. You take a male elephant, female elephant, put them together, takes 23 months. But when that baby get here, it's massive. What kind of dreams do you want? Little teeny weeny ones you can have tomorrow? Or ones that take a while, but they're worth the wait. And when they come, they are massive. I say go for the massive one.
And you should.
And you should go for that. You should have a big dream.
Well, in the book, you talk about the part 1. You talk about the power of a vision.
Yes.
That power stems from your ambition, from your dream.
Well, I believe that God gives a dreamer a dream. He would not give you a dream you couldn't achieve. But you must be willing to accept it or reject it. And most people reject their dreams. God plants it in you. And he says, it's yours. How many of you have ever thought of an idea and said, I got an idea, and you don't move on it?
Yeah, and somebody else.
And you see 6 months that idea in a store or on a television.
Yeah, that's true.
I bet you everybody. There was a study done. Les Brown told me this. He said he read a study that showed that everybody has at least 4 dreams, 4 ideas per year, any one of which would make them $1 million. And only 3% of the people move on them. Isn't that insane? Most people talk themselves out of it. That's why I say when you have a setback, don't talk yourself out of your dream. Talk yourself into your dream. Start saying, you know what? I've had a setback, but I'm not giving up. If the dream is big enough, the problems don't matter.
Well, then people will say, well, how do I talk myself into it?
Well,
saying, well, you talk yourself out of stuff.
Yes, but it's a little more difficult because it's easy to do nothing.
Well, yeah.
It's easy to do nothing. I'll just put it off to tomorrow. I'll procrastinate. I want it, but so to do it, you must go through the process. First, you must decide what you want. Decide what it is that you want. Number 2, you must write it down and be specific.
Yeah, that's where I want you to go.
Okay, you got to write it down and be specific. Yeah. You must write it down. Scripture says, write the vision, make it plain, that he that reads it may run the race. You must write the vision down. whatever it is, and be specific. Don't just say I want to be wealthy. Don't be say I want to be rich. Don't just say I want to be happy. You know,
right. Well, everybody want to be happy.
You know, but people write their goals or their resolutions. I want to be happy. How do you measure that? When do you know when you got it?
Yeah, I mean, that's very vague.
I'm happy every day I wake up. Every day I wake up without a chalk outline around my body, it's a good day.
I'm happy, y'all.
It's a good day. Every day above ground is a good day. So, first, decide what you want. Number 2, write it down. Be specific. Number 3, read it every day.
Yeah.
For 30 days. Every day, at least twice a day. You're programming your psychology into your into your psyche, and you're trying to put it in your mind that my goal this year is $100,000.
Yes.
My goal this year is to own my own home. My goal this year to go back to school and get my degree. My goal this year, whatever your goal may be, write it down. Be specific.
But that's for you. You ain't got to share with everybody and their mama.
You don't have to, but some people will try and talk you out of it.
Yeah.
This is your dream, your goal. And in my first book, I had a quote from Dr. James Anthony Carter, who said, most people, when you tell them their dreams, will not believe it until you start to achieve it. Then they'll say, oh, we knew you had it in you all the time.
Yeah.
It's like when I started speaking.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people tell me, what? You're a singer. What are you doing trying to speak? What are you doing? You're just a singer. You're just a jingle singer, a lounge singer.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You want to become a speaker. And some tried to talk me out of it. I just wouldn't listen. I had made up my mind. I was hard-headed. Okay.
Sometimes it pays off to be hard-headed.
Sometimes. When I was little, it didn't always pay off. But I had made up my mind, and nothing beats the power of the made-up mind. Nothing beats the power of the made-up mind. So
that's part of the power of the vision.
Yes. So first is the vision. You must have a vision, and it must be very clear. So write it down, be specific, read it 3 times a day. And number 2 is decide, as we talked about. Number 3 is you must take action. Because there's a 4-step program that I learned from these interviews. Vision, decision, action. That action is the 3rd one. And the 4th one is desire. Action is that without a vision, without an action, is an illusion. And an action without a vision is confusion. But vision and action put together can change the world. Mother Teresa proved that.
You got to have vision first, though.
Got to have vision.
Because without vision, you're not going to have action.
Right. You got to have vision. Well, some people take action without a vision, don't know where they're going. They run around in circles. That's they're going somewhere, but ain't going nowhere fast. Like they're not doing anything constructive. They just a ball of activity, but not going anywhere. Yeah, it's a lot of
energy.
Doing a lot of stuff, but not going anywhere. When you're strategic, say, here's where I want to go, and all your energies are focused on getting there.
Focused energy.
Okay, focused energy. It's a powerful thing. So, vision, decision, action, because Scripture says, ask, ye shall receive. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. For everyone that asks, receives. Everyone that seeks, finds. Everyone that knocks, the door is open. Notice it says, when you do this action, you will get this blessing.
But doesn't that also say, you have not, because you ask not?
Most people receive not because they ask not.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Last one is desire. How bad you want to make this happen? How bad you want to make this happen? Now, when I ask that question, I always get the same response. In every seminar, I get the same response. People say, real bad. Okay? How bad is real bad? Well, I want it real bad. How bad is real bad? Imagine this scenario, if you would. One person wakes up around midnight, says, I want a soda. I want it bad. I want it real bad. They go to the refrigerator, open the refrigerator, no sodas. They walk to the window, open the shade. It's snowing. They go back and look in the refrigerator one more time and settle for a glass of water. They go back to bed. They really didn't want it that bad.
Yeah, because they don't not got one.
Right. The second person wakes up and says, I want a soda. Open the refrigerator, no sodas. Walk to the window, open the shades, it's snowing. They put on a hat and coat and gloves and galoshes. They walk a quarter mile to the corner store. But it's closed. That person walks back home, settles for a glass of orange juice. Because they really didn't want it that bad. Third person wakes up around midnight, says, I want a soda, opens the refrigerator, no sodas, opens the window, snowing, put on a hat and go to galoshes, walk a quarter mile to the corner store, it's closed. Another half mile to the grocery store, it's closed. Another mile to the gas station with the soda machine, it's sold out. But that person keeps walking and trying and walking and trying and walking and trying and walking and trying until they get a soda. And if you go that far for a soda, how much further would you go for your dreams?